Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome back to another raid video. So, upcoming quality of life features. We've seen this roadmap that's behind me right now. We've seen it before. It's nothing new. It's not that we don't like what is coming, but I have my own recommendations, and that's the theme of today's video. So, tavern improvements. We have this already. Boom, the tavern has been upgraded. It's much better than it was before. Not ideal. I do have my comments on that, on how it's working on right now. There could be some better improvements, but for now it's good. It's okay. I would love to have some way of planning upgrades and using like a feature to instant upgrade multiple champions at a time, but whatever, that might be too advanced at the moment for many players, so it's fine having this. We also had at the same patch an insane thing that was added, and it was the epic champion empowerment. This is a long time awaited thing. I don't consider that as a quality of life feature. Honestly, guys, this is just a power up for epics, as straight up power up for epics. And then everything else that they will be introducing is something that we want to have, such as artifact presets, accessory filters, artifact removal booster item, and then Hydra class participation rewards. This is just an extra thing. It's not quality of life. It's just making your life better, not the... I don't know how to describe it. I don't consider this as quality of life. What I consider, guys, in the game as quality of life is how they could change the game to make some of the things that they have already within the games, make them better. It totally makes sense to upgrade the game a little bit, because right now in its form, it doesn't exactly look like how it was back in the 2018 when it first launched. 2019 officially launched, okay, but there are some still some things that are honestly very old, such as the market. This honestly needs to be upgraded and needs to be modernized a little bit, in the sense of providing you higher upgrades, maybe even 3-star champions in here, maybe even 6-star gear, mythical gear even. I don't understand why this is not something that even the end game players need to be checking in order to find some solid upgrades. I think it totally makes sense. It could even bring in the argument for refreshing it. Honestly, if I was a player who knew, right, you can get 1 mythical item per day or something from here, I could consider refreshing it with gems, or just keeping an eye on it every hour in order to get that upgrade. And the same thing goes for gem mine. This needs to be upgraded maybe to provide some silver. A discussion that has been made 1,000 times before. I'm just saying it as part of this one point that I wanted to add, plus other stuff like automatic upgrades right here for the sparring pit, which these make sense. They would have made sense if this was fully upgraded, that the upgrades would have been automatic, but I'm not sure why PLARIUM has still not added this as part of it. I don't understand why. I think it's just laziness, or they have other things in the timeline. So I thought, yeah, okay, whatever. But these are honestly point number 1 for this one, as honest quality of life upgrades that we need. And I don't understand how they haven't added them just yet after so many years that we've been playing the game. Next one is ascension of gear and chaos ore, and using the chaos ore. So currently at the moment, when you use a chaos ore, okay, you'll see the rework attempts use 1 out of 1, and that is gone. Okay, I understand that as being a part of how everything works. Okay, it's a 1 chance. If you don't get it, it's fine. What I would love to see here is an honest quality of life, where do I even have a candidate for this one? Let's go to gear. I actually use chaos ores on, so merciless gear, it's the ones I really consider on using. So this item, as an example, has these stats. So HP percent, speed. All right, I would use the chaos ore on it, but I want to see the option, PLARIUM. I want to see the option arise here. When I click this and it's done, all right, show me the 2 items, the before and after. Wow, such a bad reroll, but it proves my point, right? So show me the before and after, and let me choose. Do you want to keep the updated one, or do you want to go with the old one? I mean, if you think about it more, well, not realistically, because nothing is real, it's a video game, but if you think about it, yeah, you've done the chaos ore, you bring in chaos to the item, so you can't go back, right? Yeah, but please give us the option. Sometimes the previous version was 100 times better than what we re-rolled for. So this time is another example. Like, I basically wasted 1 item here for this one. So for the potential upgrade that I could have gotten from the KOs, all right? So make that as an option, as a quality of life that we need. That is guaranteed one that the players want, is having the option to go back to an item that they use. And the same thing goes for ascensions. So right here, currently, if you go and ascend an item using your chaos dust, you can re-roll that ascension. And we all know how sometimes, okay, it might be defense percent, but that is way more usable than what we had before. Well, than what we will have once we, you know, use the chaos dust. So let's say we use the chaos dust here. This would have re-rolled to a defense flat. No, please go back to defense percent. Even if I'm using it on, let's say, Chanda or whoever, just go back, it's fine. I'll use the defense percent. Let me just re-roll it again maybe. And if defense percent is still the strongest one, let me keep that, please. All right, let me keep that, please. And that is the way that I would go about with doing this. Honestly, that is the way I would go about with doing this. Another big problem I have in the game is, what the hell, PLARIUM? You have this. Is it too hard to add it in many more areas of the game? Let's say on your gear, let me lock my mythical gear. I don't want it to be able to be sold ever. All right, let me lock it. Let me lock the gear. Just have that icon right here above the eye, the small eye here that you guys can see. Just have that icon there. Let me lock the item. Let me lock the damn champions that show up here. What is happening? How is this part of the system still where you cannot lock one of the champions that shows up here? How is this still part of raid in 2024? I don't understand it. This should have been an option where you lock it. I mean, you'll use currency. It's not that it makes it more expensive or cheaper, or it affects the economy. I don't see the argument here for not having the lock icon right next to this one. Just let me lock a champion for future use. It makes total sense in my mind. I don't see how it doesn't for PLARIUM. So that is my point number 3. And with better filtering system, the gear locking would totally make sense. Because let's say I wanted to see only items that are level 1, okay? Let me have that as part of the filtering system. Maybe this is planned for the future as part of other changes that they'll do together with gearing profiles that they did mention in the image that I showed you guys at the start. But the system at the moment, like when you prioritize based on speed, it's a total mess. Okay, it's a total mess. Yes, it places the highest speed item here, but let me just have some options here. Make it make sense. At the moment, it just doesn't. Another big problem I have here is this, the loot filter system. Well, not for multi-battles in the campaign. That's going to be another point that I have, but especially for going into dungeons. Explain PLARIUM, please. Why is this filtering system the one that was introduced? What are my filters that I have currently when RSL Helper breaks, or if I have to play on my phone, which I honestly don't anymore. If it breaks, I'm left with this option. So what I do is I keep the primary stat, basically all the primary stats, except for chest, boots, and gloves, which I don't keep the flat stats. And then for the sub stats, speed and crit rate is the options I recommend for everybody. So what does this mean? If the item has a crit rate substat, it's going to be kept. If the item has a speed substat, it's going to be kept. These are basically my options. And this is a bare bones filtering system. It does help, but come on, this could have been improved a little bit. Just take some thoughts from how RSL Helper works at the moment and use that to give more options for players. I could have definitely seen that as something that players would have preferred, but it's not what was done, and the filtering system is how it is. I don't like it. I think it's a much better improvement than what we had before. What we had before was very bad. It was just selling stuff based on the quality and the rank of the item, if I remember correctly. At the moment, at least it cares for the stats and some of the substats and the primary stats, which is great. And it helps a lot of mobile players. I know that, but it still needs a little bit of an improvement. Okay, a little bit of an improvement. Maybe you can add 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 5 layers of different filtering profiles that can go through, and if that is the case, then it totally keeps the item. That will give us more options, especially when RSL helper is down or we have to play on our phones. And I would love to see some changes there, some quality of life changes to make it better. And honestly, as part of the multi battles and settings that they need to change is this one, all right, which covers all of it. And it's honestly just, I think, intentional at this point, is where use gems to automatically restore energy. This, you might think, okay, coldbrew, what are you saying? Sometimes we have an energy refresh here, and it doesn't use it on purpose because the option strictly says use gems. So it's going to be using your gems always, regardless of how much energy. It should have been saying use whatever energy you have available to farm until you're out from your mailbox, and then it's going to use your gems. That should have been the option. And also, when farming champions, this is insane. How is this still part of the game? Explain. Why only 20 champions? Why not 21 at least? We're running campaign with multiples of 3. That's how you got us used to the game, guys. And with PLARIUM, multiples of 3. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Why 20? I'm wasting experience with 20. If you guys don't know what I mean, is that if you're farming with 2 champions here, the experience that is shared is a third. So a third of it goes to the champion with maxed out stats. And it doesn't make sense. It should have been multiples of 3 right there. So it should have been at least 21, not 20. That is basically intentional to get players to waste a little bit of resources. And PLARIUM should do better. They should understand that they are milking the players already through other means. So this should have been another way of milking them. Another big issue I have with builds and how they are, of course, this is better than one we had before. I will not stop saying it is, okay, this is the team this guy used to farm Dragon Hard Mode 10. Great, fantastic. I love it. This guy is the best, all right? He's the best player in Raid. Okay, show me the build. Show me the speeds he has, at least. Don't just show me Stone Skin gear. This means nothing. He could have used one item from Stone Skin set. One. I don't know. It's still going to show Stone Skin here, right? These show because this is a complete set. This does not need to be complete in order to be shown. I think it doesn't give us any details. Just give us the speeds at least. And with the speeds, maybe some of the stats, maybe this could have been a drop down menu. Give it even the name of the player. Just give him some credit. It would have been nice. Same thing goes for other parts of the game where you can see other players fighting. So even the Doom Tower, if I see a team from the Doom Tower, right, somebody cleared it, show me the stats. That would make an easy way for players to see, all right, this guy with the best team ever had these stats. All right, that's insane, but at least I know I have a goal to reach that point. So maybe that's the way to go, PLARIUM. Maybe just make it make sense. I think it's a totally insane thing that we don't have the details of the gear there. I think it's going to help a lot of players push a little bit higher. This could work also for the clan bosses, for the hydras as well. Just see what the players actually used here from your clan. Currently the clan system is really bad in terms of information you get, and all clans basically resort to third-party programs such as Discord in order to communicate and share thoughts and experiences and how every build works. So at the moment, this kind of sucks. It would have been an easy solution just to click and see all the stats that they have. Another one that is been in the discussion since forever is Faction Wars at Doom Tower. This is content from 2019, end of 2019 specifically for Faction Wars. Doom Tower, I think, was a year later. Might have been earlier. Anyway, Doom Tower, an insane amount of content here, but unless they add higher difficulties, I don't see why they shouldn't allow players who have completed the whole thing, such as me, do some auto completions. Not talking super raids, please, PLARIUM. Not super raids, auto completions. Let me do this in order for me to farm my gear. That is how I farm some consistent gear through, the Forge, all right? And especially the lethal set when the lethal rotation is on. Totally makes sense to allow us to auto complete. I mean, after you cleared it, especially so many times, I've cleared this so many times, I have all the champions. Why not? Why not? It makes sense. It's going to save us time. We've been spending all that time in other areas of the game. Make it make sense. That is the way to go, PLARIUM. Please do that, I think everybody would agree with this one. Another big thing that is coming to the game, I'm not sure with what PLARIUM shows here as artifact presets, if that's gonna be it. How I'm guessing artifact presets is gonna be, guys, I think it's just gonna be, let's say for Lady Mikage, you're gonna save this gear and call it Lady Mikage, and that's gonna be it. Or you're gonna save it and it's gonna say speed gear, and you're gonna have 10 presets the same way that you have 10 presets for dungeons, and that's gonna be it. It's not gonna be something where you can switch gear with every champion you want very frequently. So what they will probably be introducing is stuff like, okay, your Roros gear, you can save it as your, oh, that's my best DPS gear. You can name it that. Fine. But wouldn't a gear swapping feature be better so that I can just one click move gear from one champion to another? That is the system that is currently on in Watcher of Realms. I do like that system, so it would be, I think, better than what we have here. But again, I'm not sure what you guys think. Let me know down below, by the way, on this point. I think the artifact presets, it's still welcomed, but I still think gear swapping would be nice as a complete gear swap. Let's say my Rotos, immediately swap it to Ninja for whatever reason you would do that. But I'm just giving you guys an example. Point number 9, this is more of a end game thing. End game request is multi-gear leveling, especially for my accessories. Sometimes I'm at a point where I would love, instead of doing this, to select all my gear. I know better filtering systems are needed, and these are coming for artifacts and accessories. It's coming. But what I would love instead, if I could select 10 items and then have one button that says level all of them up to max, that would have been nice, right? And please, no, one cost for all. Just have it count as individual upgrades, so don't give me like 4 million per accessory. Please, PLARIUM. I know you would love to do that, but that would just delete all my silver with 10 accessories. I would love to get that. I understand that it is a total end game thing, an end game request, but multi-item leveling would be nice, especially if I want to level up items that I haven't leveled before. I could filter, let's say, for items that are not leveled at the moment. We don't have that filter at the moment in the game. There is on RSL Helper, but we don't have it here. I would love to have that and then use that to level up all my stuff to 12 at least before I go through and sort and sell everything that I got, right? And finally, this is something that I do not understand how it's not in the game. It's I don't understand. When you go into a fight, let's say with Ninja, this says each hit has a 75% chance of placing HP burn on enemies. My Ninja is maxed out. Okay, coldbrew, what's your point? Let me show you. Let's go into Phantom Shogun, where I know I use Ninja, right? Let's go in there. Let's go in there. I'll show you guys what I mean, right? There's the cold heart. If you click here, each hit has a 75% chance of placing an HP burn. Why? Why not have it 75 and then have it brackets with a yellow lettering system or whatever, something that actually shows the difference that you've just added to that champion because of your skill ups? Why isn't that there? This is an obvious quality of life thing. This makes no sense for me that PLARIUM would not introduce this as part of just how the game looks. They've changed things very recently, the most recent patch. They changed how, okay, the million silver shows. Yes, that's good. Because that makes sense, PLARIUM, right? That makes sense to do. Why you haven't done that with the tooltips on champion skills, I don't understand. It would have made so much more sense. Would have been making the life of players out there easier, especially to understand, okay, when they're using their champions, oh, that upgrade works like that, and it shows the upgrade there on the skill. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. I don't understand. It's one of the things I've been wondering for a long time now, and I've mentioned it before to the developers directly. Well, not directly, indirectly, through the community people that we have access to, at least, as content creators. So anyway, guys, this was the video. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share your thoughts down below. I'll see you all in the next one. See ya.